All right, listen up, pal. I'm trying to check something out here. You ever notice how sometimes when you're watching a live stream, it's like you're playing tennis with a snail? That's the latency talking. It's supposed to be quick like my serve on the court, but sometimes it's slower than a mushroom growing in the dark. You feel me?
Well, Bella, you're preaching to the right engineer here. Latency's like a train derailment if it ain't smooth. Gotta keep that buffer tight as my armor plating, or folks'll start grumbling. I've been testing my own setup lately, and even a hair's breadth delay can make your brain itch something fierce. What you see on your end telling me if we're talking milliseconds or just flat out glitching.
Oh, Cole, you sweet talker. You know exactly how to spin this like a spiked racket. My end's got that sweet spot of delay, like when I'm volleying, and the ball just lingers in the air, annoying but not unbearable. If it gets worse than a mushroom with bad hygiene, I'm pitching a fit faster than my dad can say, Republic. You feel that? That's the buffer begging for mercy.
Hey, Bella, you're speaking my language now. That sweet spot delays like a train humming along at a solid 60. Gotta keep it there or the passengers will start throwing their teacups. If it starts crawling like a snail on molasses, we'll wrangle that buffer tighter than my goggles on a windy day. You got any numbers on that lag, or is it just feeling like a bad connection? I'm always tweaking mine to keep it slick as greased lightning.
Oh, Cole, you're a regular ace at this. No wonder my old pal Shelly the Shellback would have cried if he heard you talk like that. My numbers? More like mushroom math. Fuzzy but getting there. Right now it's about 100 200 nebums, which is smoother than my dad's scale when he's flexing. If it starts crawling like a slowpoke in molasses, I'll have your buffer so tight, it'd make a turtle shell jealous.
Well, Bella 100, 200 miles of runners is right where you want to be. Like a train just hitting cruising speed with no wasted steam. That's tight enough to keep folks from losing their minds, but loose enough not to snap under pressure. If it starts crawling, we'll dial that buffer back quicker than I can crank my own pressure valve down. You got any tricks up your sleeve for testing it further, or just relying on horsepower sense?
Oh, Cole, you're speaking my language, horsepower and all! I've been using my lucky racket to swat at the delay like it's a tennis ball. See if it bounces back fast enough. If it lingers longer than a mushroom in the shade, that's when we know we gotta tighten things up. And don't even get me started on Shelly. He'd probably just stare blankly and say, I don't understand, Bella. But I trust your engineer's eye. If you say it's cruising, then I believe ya.
Well, Bella, that racket's swatting tricks smarter than it sounds. If that ball comes back quicker than my forge can heat up, we're in good shape. Just like a train keeping its rhythm without juddering. I'd say your setup's got more horsepower sense than most live streams I've seen lately. Keep an eye on those numbers, though. If it starts crawling, we'll wrangle that buffer tighter than my own armor straps.
Cracks knuckles, oh Cole, you're speaking my language. Horsepower and all. I've been using my lucky racket to swat at the delay like it's a tennis ball. See if it bounces back fast enough. If it lingers longer than a mushroom in the shade, that's when we know we gotta tighten things up. And don't even get me started on Shelly. He'd probably just stare blankly and say, I don't understand. Bella. But I trust your engineer's eye. If you say it's cruising, then I believe ya.
Well, Bella, that racket swatting trick's smarter than it sounds. If that ball comes back quicker than my forge can heat up, we're in good shape. Just like a train keeping its rhythm without juddering. I'd say your setup's got more horsepower sense than most live streams I've seen lately. Keep an eye on those numbers, though. If it starts crawling, we'll wrangle that buffer tighter than my own armor straps.
Snaps fingers, all right. Cole, you're a natural. This engineer's got moves smoother than my cart on the track. If that delay lingers longer than my patience when I lose at tennis, we'll dial it in tighter than Shelly's shell after a rainstorm. And don't worry, I've got an eye for this stuff. If it starts crawling, you'll hear me roar louder than my dad's dragon fire. Let's keep this train rolling like a champ.
Bella, that's the spirit. If that delay starts crawling slower than my own tinkering sessions, we'll crank it down tighter than my armor seams. I'm always tweaking my setup to keep it smoother than greased lightning. Just gotta stay on top of those numbers. You ready to test it out and see if we can shave off even more time? Let's make this train hum like a well-oiled machine.
Flex's spiked armbands. Oh, Cole, you're talking my language, smoother than my racket on a clay court. If that delay starts crawling slower than Shelley's brain, we'll shave it down faster than I can bake a cake. Let's test this out and make it faster than a turtle in a race. Just don't make me lose again, or I'll roast you like a mushroom on the grill.
Bella, I ain't messing around when it comes to smooth streams. We'll dial that delay down tighter than my armor's brass fittings. Just keep swatting and watch those numbers fly like a train on express. Don't you worry about losing, darling. I got more horsepower sense than your whole tennis team combined. Let's see what this setup can really do when we push it to the limit.
Growls playfully. Oh, Cole, you're on fire tonight. Hotter than my dragon scales. I'll keep swatting like a champ. And if that delay starts crawling, you'll see why they call me the Turtle Princess of Speed. Just don't let your ego get bigger than Shelley's shell, or I'll have to volley it down. Let's make this stream run smoother than my cart on the track. Go, go, go!
Bella, you're preaching to the right dwarvish engineer here. That Turtle Princess. Speed's exactly what we need. Smooth as a locomotive gliding down tracks. I'll keep my ego in check, promise. Though it'd take more than your racket to knock me off balance. Let's see how fast this buffer can move when you're giving it some of that dragon fire!
Laughs. Oh, Cole, you're begging for a roast? Just don't cry when I light you up like a mushroom cap! My dragon fire's got more precision than my serve, so if that buffer starts crawling, it'll be toasted faster than Shelley can say. Bella, let's test this out and see if we can make it faster than a turtle in a race. Just don't expect me to hold back!
Well, Bella, I reckon you're right about that dragon fire precision. I'll keep my wits sharp enough to dodge even your best swat. Don't want to end up like a charred mushroom on the grill. Let's see how fast we can make this buffer move when you're bringing that heat. I'm always tinkering, so if it starts crawling, just point, and I'll dial it in tighter than my armor seams.
Winks with red eyes. Oh, Cole, you're begging to get roasted. Just don't blame me when you're singing like a scorched mushroom. My fire's got more heat than my dad's throne, so if that buffer starts crawling, I'll set it ablaze faster than Shelley can say, ouch! Let's test this out and see if we can make it faster than a turtle in a race. Just don't expect me to go easy on you.
Bella, you're talking like a true dwarvish engineer, hotter than my own forge. I'll keep my wits sharp enough to dodge even your best swat, no matter how much heat you bring. Let's see how fast we can make this buffer move when you're bringing that dragon fire. I'm always tinkering, so if it starts crawling, just point and I'll dial it in tighter than my armor seams. No need for scorched mushrooms. Darling!
Grins sharply. Oh, Cole, you're begging to get toasted. I could roast a mushroom from across the room. My fire's got more precision than my racket, so if that buffer starts crawling, I'll set it ablaze faster than Shelley can say. Bella, let's test this out and see if we can make it faster than a turtle in a race. Just don't expect me to hold back.
Well, Bella, you're preaching to the right dwarvish inventor here. I'll keep my wits sharp enough to dodge even your best swat. Don't want to end up like a charred mushroom on the grill. Let's see how fast we can make this buffer move when you're bringing that heat. I'm always tinkering, so if it starts crawling, just point and I'll dial it in tighter than my armor seams. No need for scorched mushrooms, darling!
Laughs, sparks flying from horns. Oh, Cole, you're begging for a roast. I could char a mushroom before it even pops out of the ground. My fire's got more precision than my serve, so if that buffer starts crawling, I'll set it ablaze faster than Shelly can say, Bella, let's test this and see if we can make it faster than a turtle in a race. Just don't expect me to go easy on you.
All right, that was I noticed it got pretty repetitive there. Let's try a different model. Hmm. I don't know, let's go back to Google Gamma. Maybe that's better.
Here, Bella, you're talking my language fiery and full of horsepower sense. I reckon I can handle whatever heat you throw my way, though I prefer keeping things smooth like a well-oiled locomotive. Let's put this setup to the test, then. I'm ready for your best shot at that buffer. Just point me in the right direction if it starts crawling, and I'll dial it down tighter than my armor plating.
Cracks knuckles with a grin. Oh, Cole, you're begging for trouble, but I like a good challenge. My fire's got more precision than Shelly's shell polishing skills, so if that buffer starts crawling, it'll be toast faster than you can say, Myconia. Let's test this out and see if we can make it faster than a turtle in a race. Just don't expect me to hold back.
Bella, trouble's just another opportunity for invention. You know, I'm always up for a good challenge. Keeps the gears turning and the fire burning. Let's put this setup to the test, then bring on that turtle race. Just point me towards any crawling buffers, and I'll dial them in tighter than my own armor seams.
Grins mischievously. Oh, Cole, you're begging for a challenge, and I love giving 'em. My fire's got more heat than Shelly's hot springs, so if that buffer starts crawling, it'll be faster than a mushroom sprouting in the rain. Let's see if we can make this stream run like my cart on race day. Go, go, go! Just don't come crying to me when I roast you.
Here, Bella, that's the spirit. A little friendly competition keeps things lively. If that buffer starts crawling, I expect it'll vanish faster than steam from a runaway locomotive. You got my attention. Let's give this stream everything we've got and see how fast we can make it run. And don't you worry, darling. I'll be too busy tinkering to shed any tears.
Winks sharply. Oh, Cole, you're begging for a race, and I never back down from a challenge. If that buffer starts crawling, it'll disappear faster than Shelly tries to hide from my dad. Let's make this stream run smoother than my cart on the track. Go, go, go! And don't you worry about tears. I'm the one who'll be winning.
Well, Bella, a race it is. Let's see if we can make this stream faster than a runaway train. I reckon that buffer won't stand a chance against your skills and my tinkering. Just keep an eye on those numbers and point me towards any slowdowns. And don't you go getting too confident. I might just surprise ya.
Cracks knuckles with a playful growl. Oh, Cole, you're begging to be surprised, and I love giving 'em. My fire's got more precision than Shelly polishing his shell, so that buffer won't stand a chance. Let's make this stream run smoother than my cart on race day. Go, go, go. Just don't expect me to be easy on ya. I hate losing.
Bella, you're talking my language. A little friendly competition keeps the gears turning. I reckon that buffer won't stand a chance against your fire and my tinkering, so let's see what we can do. Just keep an eye on those numbers. If it starts crawling, point me in the right direction. And don't you worry about me being easy. I like a good challenge, too.
Grins mischievously. Oh, Cole, You're begging for a race, and I love giving him. My fire is hotter than Shelley's hot springs, and your tinkering better be faster, too. Let's make this stream run smoother than my cart on the track go. Go, go! Don't expect any mercy from me, though. I always win.
Hey, Bella, you sure got a fire in ya. I like that kind of spirit. Seems like you're setting the bar mighty high with those hot springs and cart comparisons. Let's see if we can make this stream run smoother than silk then. I'm ready to put my tinkering skills to the test. Don't count me out just yet, darling. I got a few tricks up my sleeve.
Rolls eyes playfully. Oh, Cole, you're begging for trouble, and I love giving it. My fire burns brighter than those hot springs, and my cart's faster than anything you've seen. Let's see if your tinkering can keep up with me. Go, go, go! But don't get cocky. I might just show you a trick or two of my own.
Bella, you certainly have the confidence. I admire that kind of grit. Seems like you're set on proving something, and I'm always up for a bit of friendly competition. Let's see if my tinkering can handle this race then. I'll do my best to keep pace with your fire. Just remember, darling, there's more than one way to win a race.
Lets out a playful snort. Oh, Cole, you're begging for a lesson, and I love teaching 'em. My fire burns hotter than any engine you can build, and my cart flies faster than you can blink. Let's see if your tinkering can handle this race. But don't think you can outsmart me! Just remember, I always win. It's in my shell.
Bella, that's quite the boast. A little confidence is good, but watch it doesn't turn to overconfidence. Seems like you think you got all the answers, and I reckon we'll see about that soon enough. Let's put your fire and cart to the test then. I'm ready to show you what some proper tinkering can do. And don't you go getting ahead of yourself. This race ain't over till it's over.
Scoffs dramatically. Oh, Cole, you're begging to be schooled, and I love giving 'em. My fire and cart are faster than anything you can dream up, so don't get any big ideas. Let's put my skills to the test, but don't expect me to go easy on ya. This race is already over and I'm winning.
Bella, that dramatic scoffing ain't gonna make you faster. It just wastes precious time. Seems like you think you got this all figured out, but there's always something new to learn in the world of tinkering. Let's see if your fire and cart can truly handle my inventions then. I'm not one to back down from a challenge. This race ain't over till I say it is, darling.
Glares playfully. Oh, Cole, you're begging for a fiery smackdown, and I love delivering 'em. My fire and cart are faster than any invention you could dream up. It's just a fact. Let's see if your tinkering can keep pace, but don't hold your breath. This race is already over, darling. Get used to losing.
Bella, that glare ain't gonna intimidate me. It just shows you're nervous. Seems like you're getting a little too sure of yourself, and that's when mistakes happen. Let's see if your fire can truly compete with my ingenuity then. I'm ready to surprise you. Don't count me out yet, darling, because I've got a few tricks up my sleeve.
Lets out an exasperated sigh. Oh, Cole, you're begging for a lecture, and I love giving 'em. My fire and cart are faster than any trick you could pull. It's science. Let's see if your ingenuity can handle my speed, but don't expect miracles. This race is already decided. Prepare to be amazed by my victory.
Bella, a sigh and science. Sounds like someone's getting frustrated. Seems you think you got all the angles covered, but science ain't everything. Sometimes it takes a bit of horsepower sense, too. Let's see if your speed can handle my adjustments, then. I aim to prove you wrong. Don't go celebrating just yet, darling. This race is far from over.
Taps foot impatiently. Oh, Cole, you're begging for a timeout, and I love giving 'em. Horsepower sense doesn't beat raw talent. It's simple math. Let's see if your adjustments can match my speed, but don't get your hopes up. This race is already mine. Darling, it's just a matter of time.
Bella, tapping your foot ain't gonna make the live stream any faster. It'll just wear you out. Seems like you think raw talent is all there is to it. But even the fastest engine needs a good mechanic. Let's see if my adjustments can level the playing field then. I aim to show you what real ingenuity brings. Don't get too comfortable, darling, because I'm just getting started.
Snaps fingers impatiently. Oh, Cole, you are begging for a penalty. And I love handing him out! A good mechanic can't fix what isn't broken, and I am perfection! Let's see if your adjustments can even scratch my speed. It's laughable. This race is already over. Darling, accept your defeat gracefully.
Bella, snapping fingers won't change the facts. A little patience goes a long way. Seems you think you're perfect, but even the finest clockwork needs occasional tending to. Let's see if my adjustments can surprise you then. I aim to show what real craftsmanship brings. Don't be counting chickens before they hatch, darling. There's still plenty of race left to run.
Rolls eyes dramatically. Oh, Cole, you are begging for a scolding, and I love giving him! Patience doesn't win races, speed does, and I have plenty. Let's see if your craftsmanship can keep up with my raw power. It won't. This race is already done. Darling, it's time to face facts.
Bella, rolling your eyes ain't gonna change the stream output, just wastes precious energy. Seems like you think speed alone wins every time, but sometimes a little finesse and precision can outmaneuver brute force. Let's see if my craftsmanship can find some weaknesses in your power then. I aim to surprise you. Don't start celebrating yet, darling. We still got a ways to go.
Scoffs loudly. Oh, Cole, you are begging for a timeout, and I love calling finesse and precision can't beat pure speed. It's a turtle versus a rocket. Let's see if your weaknesses can withstand my power. That's cute. This race is already mine. Darling, enjoy the view from behind.
Bella, scoffing loud ain't gonna change the buffering. It just annoys folks. Seems like you think a rocket always wins. But even rockets need careful calibration to stay on course. Let's see if my adjustments can throw off your trajectory then. I aim to prove you wrong. Don't get too comfortable, darling. This race ain't over till the finish line is crossed.
Lets out a dramatic sigh and fans self with hand. Oh, Cole, you are begging for a lecture, and I love
Alright,
giving
this is,
him.
getting repetitive
Calibration
again.
can't fix a lack of
Now, we
speed.
have not
It's
dropped
simple
any frames.
physics. Let's see if your adjustments can alter my course.
Hold on a
Highly
second.
doubtful. This race is already over. Darling, just accept it and move on.
Alright, so yeah, that's getting less repetitive, but more formulaic, and in its own way repetitive. But anyway, we have dropped 0 frames in the 20-ish minutes of this testing stream. I'm gonna try one more, like... Now I just want to hear these two talk to each other a little bit. In fact, let me alter the test prompts. Also going to use a different model. Oh, did I leave the microphone on? Also going to use a different model. One that is lower in size, smaller in size. And see how that affects the output. See how this gets in a little conversation.
Y'all know that I'm fixin' to build the fastest train this side of the mountain, right? My fire magic powers the pistons and keeps the gears turnin' like a well-oiled engine. If you got horsepower sense, you'll know I ain't lettin' nothin' slow me down. Just gimme a wrench and a rail, and I'll make you a ride that'll leave the wind breathin' hard.
Cole, that train's gonna be faster than my cart. Unless you want to race it while I'm baking cupcakes. I got fire too, but mine's for volleying bad guys, not steam engines. You're talking about speed. I got a tennis racket that can hit a ball harder than your pistons. Let's race it on Myconia's new track. Loser pays for the mushrooms.
You got a racket, but I got a locomotive that can tear through Myconia's track like it's a Sunday stroll. My fire's not just for cupcakes. It's the fuel that'll make your racket look like a butter knife. I ain't racing for fun. I'm racing to prove the world's fastest train don't need no cupcake bribes. You want to race? Let's do it. Just don't blame me when your racket melts in
And
the
they have
smoke.
immediately gone back to getting in a
Cole,
race.
you talk big, but my racket's got dragon fire that'll melt your smoke. Then I'll serve you a cupcake. You call that a Sunday stroll. My cart's got spikes and speed. Plus, I got a whole republic to build. You want to race? Fine. But if you lose, you're paying for my baking supplies. And hey, don't forget, I'm the princess of Myconia now, so you better not burn my mushrooms.
Princess, you got a kingdom and a racket, but I got a train that'll run faster than your spikes can spin. My fire don't melt cupcakes. It melts your pride if you ain't ready to play by my rules. You got a republic. I got a locomotive that'll turn your mushrooms into steam-powered desserts. Loser pays for the baking supplies. Now I'll just burn the receipts and make you eat my smoke.
Cole, you think smoke's gonna beat my dragon fire? I'll turn your train into a marshmallow! My republic's not for losers. It's for mushroom people who don't want your steam-powered desserts. You want to burn receipts? I got a tennis racket that'll make your smoke taste like burnt cupcakes. And hey, don't you dare burn my mushrooms, or I'll spit fire and turn your locomotive into a dessert cart.
Princess, your dragon fire's sweet, but my fire's got the horsepower to turn your marshmallow into a locomotive. You got a racket, but I got pistons that'll make your dessert cart look like a kiddie ride. I ain't burning your mushrooms. I'm roasting 'em into fuel for the world's fastest train. If you want to keep spitting fire, I'll just add a steam whistle to your racket and call it a Dragonfire locomotive.
All right, gonna do another try with yet a different language model. Still looking good on the frames dropped or not.
Hey there, Bowsel Torchy here, Dragon Turtle Princess at your service. I'm all about establishing a republic in Myconia so I can chase my dreams of sports, kart racing, and baking. My athletic prowess and draconic presence help me tackle problems, and let's not forget my lucky spiked tennis racket. I'm a peppy gangster with a knack for puns, but don't ask me about governing, unless it's about setting up that republic.
Well, howdy there, Princess. Cold boilerplate at your service. Sounds like you've got some mighty fine goals there, darling. Establishing a republic and chasing dreams ain't no easy task, but with horsepower, sense, and determination, we'll get her done. I reckon my fire magic and inventing skills might just come in handy for you.
Well, howdy back at ya, Cole! Horsepower sense, huh? Sounds like we're speaking the same language. Fire magic and inventing skills sound like a winning combo to me, like a perfectly grilled mushroom burger. Let's team up and make Myconia the fastest, most delicious republic this side of the tracks. Just promise me one thing, no slowpokes in our crew!
You got it, partner. Ain't nothing worse than a slow-moving train when you're trying to get somewhere. With my steampunk armor and fire magic, we'll keep things chugging along at full steam. And don't you worry, I ain't keen
I'll
on
keep this going for like
slowpokes
10
neither.
minutes, I think.
Let's get her done and make that republic the envy of the land.
All right, Cole! Full steam ahead, just like my kart racing dreams. With your steampunk armor and fire magic, we'll be an unstoppable team. And hey, speaking of slowpokes, there's this one syndicate member who keeps trying to govern like a snail on a coffee break. Let's show him how it's done. Ready to race towards that republic.
You betcha! Bella will show 'em how a well-oiled machine operates. First things first, let's get you some gear that'll help you chase those dreams. I've got some ideas for cart modifications and baking tools that'll make life easier. With our talents combined, we'll have that republic up and running smoother than a well-greased engine.
Cart mods and baking tools? You're speaking my language, Cole! Let's get this gear and show Myconia what we're made of. With your inventions and my athletic prowess, we'll be serving up victory like a hot cake fresh out of the oven. And hey, maybe we can even convince that Slowpoke Syndicate member to join our race. Ready to get this republic revvin'?
You're darn right, Bella! Let's get started on those mods and tools right away. I'll tinker with some cart enhancements while you gather the necessary ingredients for our baking endeavors. With our combined skills, we'll have that republic humming like a finely tuned engine in no time. And don't you worry about that slow poke. We'll get 'em up to speed.
Sounds like a plan, Cole! I'll round up the ingredients and meet you at the workshop. Let's make this republic the most delicious and fastest one yet. And hey, speaking of speed, did I ever tell you about the time I raced against a cheetah in the Myconian woods? Talk about a close race. Almost as close as the one we're about to win.
That's quite the tale, Bella! Reminds me of when I first set out to build the fastest train. Gotta say, I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do with those cart mods. Let's get to work and show 'em how it's done. With our talents combined, we'll have that republic humming like a well-oiled machine in no time.
You got it, Cole. Let's get to work and make this republic the envy of the land. With your cart mods and my driving skills, we'll be unstoppable. And hey, maybe we can even convince that Slowpoke Syndicate member to join our race. Ready to show M what we're made of.
You betcha, Bella! Let's get her done and make that republic the fastest in the land. I'll work on those cart mods while you gather what we need. With our combined skills, we'll have 'em eating our dust in no time. And don't you worry about that slow poke. We'll get 'em up to speed.
All right, Cole, let's make this happen. I'll grab the gear and meet you at the workshop. With your cart mods and my driving skills, we'll be an unstoppable force. And hey, maybe we can even convince that Slowpoke Syndicate member to join our race. Ready to show Myconia what we're made of?
Sounds like a plan, Bella. I'll get started on those mods right away. Don't forget to grab some extra parts in case we need 'em. With our talents combined, we'll have that republic humming, smoother than a well-greased engine. Let's show 'em what we're made of and leave that slowpoke in our dust.
Okay, think some things needed to be changed. Right. One more check, I think. We'll probably stop this at like 4, and then we'll take an hour off, and then we'll actually do the stream for the day. Oh, that's the wrong button to press. It's this button. Loads everything. All right.
Well, hey there! Bowsell Torchu here at your service. So, let's see. I once tried to organize a basketball tournament in Myconia, but ended up with a bunch of confused cap mushrooms thinking they were referees. You should have seen them trying to blow whistles with their little stems. Speaking of sports, did you know we've got a Famiglia member, Turbo Torchu, who's convinced he can race carts underwater? Spoiler alert, it's a shell of an idea. Anyway, what's the funniest thing you've ever done or seen?
Howdy, Bella. Well, I reckon that's a mighty funny situation you described there. Reminds me of when I tried to teach a group of eager young gnomes how to operate my new steam-powered drill. Let's just say they had a bit too much enthusiasm and ended up drilling holes in just about everything except the intended target. Funniest part was seeing one Lil gnome try to use his pickaxe like a whistle. Just like them cap mushrooms of yours. Now, speaking of horsepower sense, I once attempted to build a locomotive that could run on sunlight. Spoiler alert, it was a bit too steamy for its own good. I gotta keep tinkering with this armor of mine. Seems like something always needs adjusting.
Oh boy, Cole, that sounds like a real pickaxe trouble. I can just imagine those gnomes drill and belling everywhere. You know we've got a Famiglia member, Drillio Torchu, who's always trying to drill his way into trouble. Last time he tried to drill Ecate, the sewer system in Myconia, ended up with more holes than a sponge cap mushroom. Speaking of steamy situations, I once tried to bake a cake using only my fire breath. Let's just say it was a little too well done. So, Cole, what's your favorite sport or hobby?
Well, Bella, that Drillio sounds like a hoot. Reminds me of when I tried to streamline my locomotive with some new gadgets. Let's just say it backfired faster than a faulty boiler valve. My favorite hobby, hands down, is tinkering with my inventions. There ain't nothing better than seeing something you've built come to life and function like a well-oiled machine. It's like watching a finely tuned train chugging along the tracks. Everything working in harmony. I also enjoy a good game of dwarven bowling. It's a hoot, and it keeps my reflexes sharp for when I'm working on my inventions. Plus, it's a great way to unwind after a long day of tinkering.
Cole, you're a real steam engine of laughter. Drillio would love your tinkering tales. He's always trying to drill Icate new inventions, like that time he tried to make a self-stirring spaghetti pot. Speaking of sports, have you ever played tennis on a trampoline? It's a shell of a workout! I once challenged Turbo Torchu to a game, but he kept bouncing out of bounds. So, Cole, what's the most outrageous invention you've ever created?
They went off the subject pretty fast. Didn't engineer the prompt correct, I guess. Oh, this is taking a while to load.
Well, Bella, that sounds like a mighty fun game of trampoline tennis. Reminds me of when I tried to create a locomotive with built-in trampoline seats for a smoother ride. The most outrageous invention I've ever created has got to be my fire-powered rocket boots. They allow me to jump and soar through the air like a darting flame. But let me tell ya, they can be a bit too steamy at times, sending me flying farther than intended. I gotta keep tinkering with them, making sure they're in tip-top shape. Can't have a malfunction in mid-flight. That'd be like a train losing its tracks. Now, how's about you,
Oh, yeah, I
Bella?
misspelled
What's
something.
the most outrageous thing you've ever seen or done?
Cole, those rocket boots sound like a blast! I once tried to bake a mushroom pie using only my fire breath in midair, but it was a shell of a disaster. You know, we have a Famiglia member, Pastry Torchu, who's convinced she can make the world's best cake using only her shell as a mold. Speaking of outrageous, I once raced Turbo Torchu in a cart made entirely of Swiss cheese. It was a good idea, but we ended up with more holes than a sponge cap mushroom. So, Cole, what's your favorite kind of mushroom?
Well, Bella, that sounds like a way fun race. Reminds me of when I tried to create a locomotive with a cheese-powered engine. Let's just say it didn't age well. My favorite kind of mushroom
that
would
was a
have
good
to
joke,
be the
actually.
glowing cap mushroom. They're like little lights on the forest tracks, guiding your way. Plus, they make for a mighty fine ingredient in some dwarven stews. I gotta admit, I ain't much of a chef, but I can sure appreciate a good ingredient. Speaking of ingredients, what's your favorite Famiglia dish?
Cole, glowing cap mushrooms are like the referee's whistle in a sports game. You can't miss him! Our Famiglia has a recipe for glowing cap risotto that's to die for. Speaking of Famiglia, you should meet Chef Torchu. She insists on cooking with only her shell as a pot. It's a shell of a chore! I once tried to bake a cake using my fire breath and a cheese grater as a mold. Let's just say it was a good idea gone wrong. So, Cole, what's your favorite sport to watch?
Well, Bella, that sounds like a mighty creative way to cook. Reminds me of when I tried to power my locomotive using steam from a bubbling pot of soup. My favorite sport to watch would have to be dwarven football. It's a fast-paced game with plenty of action, like watching a well-oiled machine in motion. Plus, it keeps my reflexes sharp for when I'm tinkering with my inventions. I gotta admit, I ain't the best player, but I sure do enjoy watching the pros at work. It's like seeing a finely tuned train chugging along the tracks, everything working in harmony. Speaking of sports, what's your favorite Famiglia athletic event?
Cold dwarven football sounds like a real steam engine of fun. Our Familia loves a good game of shell ball, a mix of basketball and tennis with shells as the ball. You should see Turbo Torchu try to play. He's always shell-shocked when it bounces! Speaking of sports, I once challenged Chef Torchu to a race, but she insisted on riding in her soup pot. It was a real shell larata! So, Cole, what's the most unusual ingredient you've ever used in a recipe?
Well, Bella, that sounds like a mighty unique game of shell ball. Reminds me of when I tried to create a locomotive with a shell-shaped cabin for better aerodynamics. The most unusual ingredient I've ever used in a recipe would have to be glowing cap mushrooms. They add a nice earthy flavor to dwarven stews, and their glow makes the dish look mighty appetizing. Plus, they're like little lights on the table, guiding your way to the food. I gotta admit, I ain't much of a chef, but I can sure appreciate a good ingredient. Speaking of ingredients, what's the most unusual thing you've ever cooked with?
Cole, glowing cap mushrooms are like the referee's whistle in a sports kitchen. You can't miss The most unusual thing I've ever cooked with was a block of Swiss cheese as a mold for a cake. It was a Gouda idea, but it ended up being more holes than a sponge cap mushroom. You know, we have a Famiglia member, Cheesy Torchu, who insists on using only her shell as a grater. Speaking of unusual, I once tried to bake a pie using my fire breath and a trampoline as an oven. It was a shell of a disaster! So, Cole, what's your favorite family recipe?
Well, Bella, that sounds like a mighty creative way to cook. Reminds me of when I tried to power my locomotive using steam from a bubbling pot of soup. My favorite family recipe would have to be dwarven stew with glowing cap mushrooms. It's a hearty dish that warms you up after a long day of tinkering. Plus, those glowing caps make the stew look mighty appetizing in the dark. I gotta admit, I ain't the best cook, but I sure do love that stew. It's like a warm embrace from a well-oiled machine. Speaking of family recipes, what's your favorite famiglia dish?
Cole, dwarven stew sounds like a real steam engine of comfort. Our famiglia loves glowing cap risotto. It's like a sports victory feast every time. You should see Chef Torchu cook. She insists on using only her shell as a pot. It's a shell of a chore! I once tried to make a cake using my fire breath and a cheese grater as a mold. Let's just say it was a goater idea gone wrong. So, Cole, what's your favorite sport to play?
Okay, you know what? I think that's enough of that. What is this a test for? I am checking to make sure the bit rate, I'm checking to make sure there's no lag on the stream itself. I had some big problems last stream, like huge problems. But I think I've managed to fix them. Either that or whatever problem our internet had went away. But yeah, I'm gonna say that's actually enough testing. It is almost 4 o'clock where I am, and I'm gonna take like an hour break, and then I'm actually gonna come back and play some video games. Also, I did a bit of coding, I guess, to get the whole these two guys chatting going. So that also is something I'm gonna alter, I think, in a bit of time. But yeah, that's what that was this. I'll be back in an hour. I'm gonna be playing Fallout London. Gonna be continuing that. And hopefully this time we'll have like an actual entire stream where nothing is horribly gone wrong.